गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पतानः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सेदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ तच्छंयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं शन्नो अस्तु द्विपदे शं चतुष्पदे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्री साईश्वराय नमः हरिः ॐ ब्रह्मात्मन्वतसृजत तदकामयत समात्मनापद्येयेति आत्मन्नात्मन्नित्यामन्त्रयत तस्मै दशमगुं भूतः प्रत्यशृणोतु स दशभूतो भवतु दशभूतो हवैनामैषग तं वा एतं दशभूतगुं सन्तं दशहोतेत्याचक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाघ आत्मन्नात्मन्नित्यामन्त्रयत तस्मै सप्तमगुं भूतः प्रत्यशृणोतु स सप्तभूतो भवतु सप्तभूतो हवैनामैषग तं वा एतगुं सप्तभूतगुं सन्तं सप्तहोतेत्याचक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः आत्मन्नात्मन्नित्यामन्त्रयत तस्मै षष्ठगुं भूत प्रत्यशृणोतु स षड्भूतो भवतु षड्भूतो हवैनामैषग तं वा एतगुं षड्भूतगुं सन्तं षड्भूतेत्याचक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः आत्मन्नात्मन्नित्यामन्त्रयत तस्मै पञ्चमगुं भूतः प्रत्यशृणोतु स पञ्चभूतो भवतु पञ्चभूतो हवैनामैषग तं वा एतं पञ्चभूतगुं सन्तं पञ्चहोतेत्याचक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाः आत्मन्नात्मन्नित्यामन्त्रयत तस्मै चतुर्थगुं भूतः प्रत्यशृणोतु स चतुर्भूतो भवतु चतुर्भूतो हवैनामैषग तं वा एतं चतुर्भूतगुं सन्तं चतुर्होतेत्यचक्षते परोक्षेण परोक्षप्रिया इव हि देवाघ तमब्रवीत तं वै भैनेदिष्टगुं हूतः प्रत्यश्रौषीः त्वयैनानाख्यातार इति तस्मान्नु हैनागुंश्चतुर्होतार इत्याचक्षते तस्माच्चुच्छ्रूषः पुत्राणागुं हृद्यतमः नेदिष्टो हृद्यतमः नेदिष्टो ब्रह्मणो भवति यजेवं वेद आत्मने नमः। श्री साईश्वराय नमः। हरिः ओम्। एकाचमे तिस्रश्च मे पञ्च च मे सप्त च मे नव च मयेकादश च मे त्रयोदश च मे पञ्चदश च मे सप्तदश च मे नवदश च मयेकविंशतिश्च मे त्रयोविंशतिश्च मे पञ्चविंशतिश्च मे सप्तविंशतिश्च मे नवविंशतिश्च एकत्रिंशच्च मे त्रयस्त्रिंशच्च मे चतस्रश्च मेष्टौ च मे द्वादश च मे षोडश च मे विंशतिश्च मे चतुर्विंशतिश्च मेष्टाविंशतिश्च मे द्वात्रिंशच्च मे षट्त्रिंशच्च मे चत्वारिंशच्च मे चतुश्चत्वारिंशच्च मेष्टाचत्वारिंशच्च मे वाजश्च प्रसवश्चापिजश्च क्रतुश्च सुवश्च मूर्धा च व्यश्नियश्चान्त्यजनश्चान्त्यश्च भुवनश्च भुवनश्चाधिपतिश्च ॐ इडादेवभूर्मनुर्यज्ञनिर्बृहस्पतिरब्धामदानि सगुंसिषत् विश्वे देवासु उक्तवाचः पृथिवीमातर्मामाहि गुंसेर्मधुमनिष्ये मधुजनिष्ये मधुवक्ष्यामि मधुवदिष्यामि मधुमतीम् देवेभ्यो वाचमुद्यासगुं शुश्रूषेण्यागाम् मनुष्येभ्यस्तं मा देवा अवन्तु शोभायै पितरो नो मदन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Let us all be together. Let us all be nourished together. Let us all work together with great vigor. May our studies shine and illumine our intellects. May we not hate each other. Let there be peace, peace, and peace. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. This is the 48th week of Rudra Jnana Yajna. 48 is Ashta Chatvarigumshat. Ashta Chatvari is 48. And on the 48th week, we will be contemplating on this multiplication of the self from 4 to 48, which represents 12. 4 times 12. 340 chanes totally. 340 chanes in each of the Anuvaka, 36 in the first Anuvaka, 38 in the second Anuvaka, 36 in the third Anuvaka, 38 in the fourth Anuvaka, 33 in the fifth Anuvaka, 40 in the sixth Anuvaka. You can do this. This is japa. When you're doing Rudra japam, Ekadasha Rudra japam, Kaya Vangmanaha Karyamuttamam Pujanam Japa Chintanam. With Kaya, body, you're doing Abhishekam, Homam, with the body. The body is synchronized. Things are moving automatically. When you're doing the Abhishekam, what you're doing is a Dhyana, Avahana, all the 16 upacharas, absolutely focused. Body will be focused on that, on the ritual. That is puja, worship. Not doing this puja with all over the place, is focused. This is focused. How is puja focused? When you're doing this Purusha Suktam, there are 16, exactly 16 ruks in Purusha Suktam that are used until Uttara Narayanam. Adhyasambhuta Prithivye Rasacha. Until then, Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam, that is the Arati. That is the 16th mantra. Adhyasambhut, now mantra pushpam after that is 17. But the 16 is, when you're doing this 16 upacharas, actually 15, Arati is the one that is Panchadasha Archancha. Panchadasha Archancha Sri Kama Satatam Japet. We are all so, I'm sorry to say it this way, so ignorant that we have not connected to the supreme principles of the ritual in the spiritual. And then we say, ritual, what is there in ritual? As if we have understood what that is. Very simply you rule it out. Oh, Swami said, spiritual is important, therefore I will not pay attention to ritual. Swami did not say that. Swami said, focus on the spirit in the ritual. Understand what you're doing. Understand into the principle of that. Then you have the eligibility to decline or to accept. Simply don't decline because you heard something from someone. Simply do not accept because someone said something. Look at it, investigate it, the vigil on it. Get all the system aligned to introspect, question, vichara, upachara, achara. Vichara, upachara, achara. When you have done the inquiry into it, with your entire system, then you may have the eligibility. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. This is Shraddha. 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 You see in the background two things that Bhagavan Baba said. Shraddha, saburi. Shraddha. Shraddha cannot be translated into English. This is Shraddha focuses on the entire system, holding on to something. And when this Shraddha is applied 100%, then what happens? You will be blessed with that Chame. What I was doing, the japa, Agnischa Mahindrascha me, Somascha Mahindrascha me, Savitacha Mahindrascha me, Saraswati cha Mahindrascha me, Pushacha Mahindrascha me, Brahaspatischa Mahindrascha me, Mitrascha Mahindrascha me, Varunascha Mahindrascha me, Tushtacha Mahindrascha me, Dhatacha Mahindrascha me, Vishnuscha Mahindrascha me, Shvinaucha Mahindrascha me, Marudascha Mahindrascha me, Vishwecha me, Deva Indrascha me, Pruthivicha Mahindrascha me, Antarikshancha Mahindrascha me, Jauscha Mahindrascha me, Dishascha Mahindrascha me, Murdhacha Majindrascha me, Prajapatischa Indrascha me, 40 chames are there. Japa. And in this 40 chames, the word is focusing on the intonation. The mind is focused on the japa. The body is focused on the ritual, the puja, the worship, the upachara. And the intellect is focused on the mind and the intellect. The mind is stilled by the sound. The intellect is illumined by the wisdom. And when this system of awareness that is operating in thought, mind, action, in complete awareness, this is what is called Atma, the four. And when those four are aligned, the divine is automatically call, response. Therefore, in this Atma Suktam, Brahma Atman Vadasrujata. Brahman has created the Atman just by saying Vadasrujata. Just by the word, he created the Atman. What is the word?
Om.
Right. Then he said, Atman iti amantrayata. Tad atmana srujayeti. Brahma Atman vadasrujata. Tad akamayata. Tat akamayata. Samatmana padyayeti. Atman iti amantrayata. 10 times tasmai dashamagum hutaha pratyashrunotu. After 10 times of saying that, there was a response. And therefore, the one who responded after 10 times is named as the one who responded after 10 times of amantrayata. Just by that word, the whole thing has happened. It was beautiful. One brother has posted already on the Veda study Facebook about interpretation of the Atma Suktam or the Atma Raksha Stuti in Facebook, and Margaret, sister Margaret, also posted some beautiful material. When you get an opportunity, inclined, you may check it out. Very beautiful interpretations. Therefore, the four came. The four started. And that four is what we are looking at. Chatasrascha. Chatasraha cha. Chatasrascha. Now, when I'm hearing various people chanting, they don't know where to say cha, where to say cha. Another problem. There are places where you say cha, where you say cha, 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 sha, cha becomes cha. When there is visarga, aha, and cha, then it becomes cha. When there is ta and cha, it becomes cha, cha. Chatasrascha me ashtau dvadashaha shodasha vigumshatihi. Now, vigumshatihi, where there is ta, there it becomes cha. Well, if you pay attention to this, then this is focus. Like when we are chanting, Chatasrascha me shtau cha me dvadasha cha me shodasha cha me vigum shati cha me chatur vigum shatischa me. Where the cha comes, you have to pay attention. Dvatrigum setihi. Therefore, ta. Dvatrigum setcha me. Shatrigum setcha me. Chatvarigum setcha me. Chatuschatvarigum setcha me. Astachatvarigum setcha me. So the numbers, back to the numbers, multiples of the four. Last week, we discussed all the different fours, the force, F-O-R-C-E, the force, the four, S, force. What is the force? The force that are we talked about this in the very first mantra, the source and the four forces, the four forces, and therefore multiples of force. I hope you are getting the pun. Chatasrascha me ashtauh dvadasha is the 12. This force that is now the awareness, the thought, the mind, and the action multiplied or expanding in 8 different directions. Dvadasha, the 12. Shodasha, 16. I went through what the 16 are. Now you see how these are applied in the context of the 4 as in the awareness of the Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, the substratum of the kinetic energy or the kinetic consciousness or the movement, that is now how it is infinitized. Vigumshati, the 20. Now, all these numbers, there are so many different ways of interpretation. All of them are correct. But what I am connecting is in the context of how the infinite, the 30, the 33 that we talked about, which is 100, really the 33 times 3 plus 1, who is the substratum in the odd numbers, that devatas or whatever you call the divine forces, which is the Shatarudras, the Shatarudras are now decided to get finitized and multiply. Now this is the diversity of the unity and or the entire system now, going back to the very dhyana shloka of the Sri Rudram, which is Apatala Nabhastalanta Bhuvanad Brahmandamavispuratu. That is the single ellipsoidal, incredible, resplendent effulgence that we are talking about, the divine resplendent effulgence, the unity, in which now you open the eyes, then what you see, Brahmanda Vyapta Deha, Bhasita Himarucha Bhasamana, Bhujangai, Kanthe, Kala, Kaparda. This is now diversity, unity in diversity, multiplication. Vigumshati, 20. Chatur Vigumshati, 24. Now, there is an interpretation that this aspect of the Atma is now in complete synchrony or in synergy with this one, which is the dance. This is the dhyana. Prapancha srushtyunmukhalasya kayai samasta samharaka tandavaya jagadjananye jagadeka pitre namah shivayai cha namah shivaya namah shivayai cha namah shivaya namah shivayai cha namah shivaya. This is the beautiful altar in the background for Mahashivratri. Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. This base on which there is this incredible, ellipsoidal, unending, infinite presence, and this Shiva Tandavam, or the dance of the Shiva, is happening in a meter. And this meter, or the rhythm associated with this. And this is happening within the being, the Atman. And this dance is happening in awareness. The dance is happening in the thought. The dance is happening in the mind. The dance is happening in the action. Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. These forces, the four forces are expanding now in multiples as Gayatri Chandas, 24, Vushnik Chandas, 28, Anushtuk Chandas, 32, Bruhati Chandas, 36, Pankti Chandas, 40, Trishtuk Chandas, 44, Jagati Chandas, 48. Dance Shiva dance in our heart, blow off the winds of desire, purify our thoughts, purify. Dance Shiva dance in our heart. Paying attention to this dance of Shiva within us takes us to that space, the presence. Then you shall have the presence of this I am, which is the Satchit Ananda. How beautifully you can relate to this, very simply within you and the Mother Nature, where this dance is happening all the time, in all the space. Okay. Now you see the 33, the odd numbers, or the aspect of the divine forces. We talked about the Shatarudriya in the context of the Agni, the Tejas and the Ojas, multiplied in from the one in 11 different dimensions. And looking at that one in itself, 3 times 11 and the one. Now you see. And from that had arisen this entire creation in the multiples of now taking that and putting that 100 in 4 different dimensions. What a powerful dhyana. That is what we are blessed with. Chame. And this, what I am describing, in all these dimensions, roughly we are talking about 600 multidimensional things if you simply add the numbers. And now we are saying, in that multi-dimensional dhyana, I am that. I am that material of such creation. I am the source of that creation. I am the creation itself. I am the process of that creation. I am that resplendent effulgence from which this creation has come into existence. I am the highest above that too. I am the one that dissolves it all. I am the one who is then born out of it. I am the one that remains always, independent of evolution, resolution, dissolution. I am the creator from which all of that comes and goes. I am the indweller of that entire creation and the core of it. I am the master supervising all of this process. What I just said, Vajascha, Prasavascha, Apijascha, Kratuscha, Suvascha, Murdhacha, Vishniyascha, Antyayanas, Antya Yascha, Bhavanascha, Bhuvanascha, Adhipatischa. I don't know about all of you, I can't speak. Because just speaking about it in itself is very impossible, because it is something that is truly what we are doing, this culmination month of all of this chess. Now, no may. In this last thing that we're talking, there is no may. Vajascha, I am that. This is affirmation. Vajaha. What did we start Chamakam with? What is the first chame in Chamakam?
Vajaschame.
Vajaschame, yeah. Vajaschame. There you are saying, may I be blessed to be the material. But here you are saying, not blessed. I am that. After all of this, I am that. Vajascha. I'm the material for the creation. Prasavascha, the source of that creation. Apijascha, what is created or the creation, that I am too. Kratuscha, the process by which the creation has happened. Suvascha, Suvaha, Bhur Bhuvas Swaha. Murdha, above that. Even Suva means only the third dimension, Murdha, even above that. Yasniyascha Vyasniyaha Aschantyaya Aschantya, also Anta. If you look at all these three, Vyasniyascha, the one who dissolves it. Antyayanaha, Antya Ayanaha, the one who comes out of it at the end. Antyaha, the one who remains after all this process of evolution, resolution, dissolution. Now the 5 different aspects of evolution, resolution, dissolution, the pancha kritya. Bhuvanascha, Bhuvanascha, Adhipatischa. This is the Chamakam is starting with Vajaha, concludes not anymore seeking or seeking for the blessing or etc. It is now the seeker becomes the seer, the observed and the observer. What is the observer, the observed, and the third dimension, the dhyana, dhyatru, dhyaya, or what is being observed. The process of observing. All the three now merging. The seeker simply becomes the seer or simply that. And now the yajna is complete. Thank you, Swami. Yes, somebody has a question. If you have a question, please comment.
Sairam,
Yes.
that
Yes.
one which exists at the end is the only one which existed in the beginning, middle, and the end. Therefore, only that exists, nothing else, from the beginning, from the middle, from the end. As you clearly said, everything came out of it, everything is in it, everything will be there only, that only. Therefore, the end of Rudram, only that exists. Nothing else exists. Separated from that, only that exists. Nothing else separated existence is there.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This is Aradhana. Bhagavan said what Radha means. Out of the so-called whatever 16,000 concerts or 8 different legally married women to him, when we look at the Radha Krishna, it is only Radha that is next to Krishna in many temples. What is this Radha? Radha in English. If you take the R and move it to the end, it is Adhar. 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 Radha. Move the R to the end. Adhar. Then move the A to the end. Dhara. Then move the D to the end. Harad. Do this exercise, sir. Then you will notice. This Krishna consciousness is nothing but Radha is Krishna's Adhar, Dhara, Harad, from the heart. This is Aradhana. And that, yes, somebody has to say something. If you don't, please mute, sir, because when I'm listening some sound, I assume somebody wants to say something. So if you're not intending to say anything, please.
Sai Ram, before I forget, I'd like to thank Swami coming through you for the past 48 weeks. Try to enlighten people like me who is never enlightened, which cannot be enlightened. Thank you, Swami. Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram.
Thank you, sir. Sir, there is no, I appreciate your sentiment.
Shekharji, I feel the same way.
The teacher is the taught, not the person speaking. The teacher is the taught. Yes, Geeta Auntie, yes.
I feel the same way. I was just reflecting on the same thing just 2 minutes ago. My whole trip to Kailash brought me not only to Kailash, but a whole different world of learning. And what a lovely thing to be a student at this age. Thank you, sir.
The teacher is the taught.
Sairam, I keep repeating that you have transported us to some highest plane and we don't want to descend them. Thank you, Sairam. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Shekhar Garu, thank you. I can't use any words to thank you and Swami coming through you. I have to go and listen to it over and over again to even understand some of it. So I think it is a process. You have just inspired me. And now I have to continue listening to you and understand. Sairam.
Yes, all of you can thank Swami in your hearts. Please. This body is nothing to do with any of that identification associated with it. And everything that is said that has inspired you is directly from the love. If there is anything that has turned the mind away, that is the vagary of this speaker's problem, not the source. The microphone had tried to make a noise in between and ignore that. Only the speaker makes complete sense, who is the real speaker. the microphone may have some glitches because sometimes there would be some interruption of the current associated with something, and therefore the microphone, that is the instrument, has a problem, but the speaker never has any problem, the real speaker. Sometimes it is what I was reflecting after the Ekadashi Rudrabhishekam last week, not yesterday, but the week before, on how an incredible journey of 1 year Bhagavan has totally, graced us with. And going through this during a pandemic, and at the end of it, just in this country or the land, 100 million people vaccinated, and many across the world. Of course, there are so many that still needs to be vaccinated. What he has done is the vaccination through this Jnana Yajna. And without this awareness of the Jnana, the four things do not, the four fundamental A's won't exist. Four A. First is Abhaya. Second is Ahimsa. Third is Asanga. Fourth is Ananda. The fear and the worry, the sorrow, all of that associated with the individual and the relative world, and the turbulence that is so created, you can only be not insensitive to it, but being sensitive to it, at the same time being still and unaffected by it, is very simply the four A's of life. The A's of life. A. And the last A is Ananda. And this is what we are also, now what I want to say is, this is not just about this particular satsang. The whole package, everywhere you turn, he doesn't want you to escape. And this Ananda is what we are studying in study circle for so many weeks at the Sacramento Center. And all the thing about the service, the 95-day celebration, the Devi Navaratris, and the whole year, uninterrupted flow. This is, so the yajna did not happen just on this forum, on this Zoom call. The yajna has happened at so many different levels. And this yajna is also the same as Abhisheka. Japa Homa Abhisheke Vinyogaha. Japa Homa Abhisheke Vinyogaha. Now, what this Pavan was saying, yesterday they could not do the Homa because of service project, but today they will do because this is the final mantra of Chamakam has happened. So the Homa has to be done today, not yesterday. We think that all of this is planned by us. And that place, they have done Homa every weekend during this, since we started this sadhana for Aradhana. And I'll spend a few minutes before we go through we are almost done. So the Shanti mantra is the final mantra. Ida Devahur, Ida Devahuh, Manuhu, Yajna, Bruhaspatihi, Uktamadani, Sham Sishat, Vishve Devaha, Suktavachaha, Mataha, Ma Mahimsihi, Madhu Manishye, Madhu Janishye, Madhu Vakshami, Madhu Vadishyami, Madhu Matim Devebhyaha, Vacham Udva Sam Sushrushenyam Manushebhyaha Tam Ma Devaha Avantu Shobhayai Pitaraha Anumadantu. Om Ida Devahur Manur Yajnanir Bruhaspatirak Dhama Dani Sagum Sishadvishve Devasu Uktavachaf Prudhivi Matar Mamahigum Seer Madhumanishye Madhujanishye Madhuvakshami Madhuvadishyami Madhumatim Devebhyo Vachamudyasagum Shushrushenyagam Manushyeebhyastamma Deva Avantu Shobhayai Pitaro Numadantu Pitaro Numadantu. What we are studying in this last mantra, next week class will be the final, where I would like to actually have a complete chanting of the Rudram with proper chanting intonation. So you can actually do this in the context of, I know many people are very enthusiastic about chanting, that is true, but doing this with full presence of the thought, mind, and action, where hopefully this Rudra Jnana Yajna enables you to be illumined by each of these words in this. From now on, when you chant, don't give up. This is just the beginning. Keep looking. Don't think that I heard this now, I mastered all the, or no, this is even this Jnana Yajna, that it is much, 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 much deeper than any of the previous, what we call as Rudram classes. This is truly an Yajna, where we have really dwelled into so many different layers, aspects. And my humble request is, whoever has stayed through this, thank you. But this is just the beginning. What we are looking at this, the Shanti mantra, as Devahuti leads the deities, Ida, Devahuti, Devahur, Manur Yajnani, as Manu leads the Manushyas, the mankinds, to do Yajna, to do the Seva, to do the sacrifice, the constant vigil and the introspection of everything that is entering the space. And this space, if it is called Ka, and when that space is filled with what doesn't belong to you, it is Dukkha. And when it is filled, or when it is getting, this is what's called the emptiness, as the Buddhists talk about. And the emptiness aspect of the Buddhism is exactly this: keeping the space empty. And actually, as the space becomes empty, you get peace. You don't suffer. Therefore, Manu, the source of the word man, man came from Manu. Manur Yajna Nihi. Ida Devahur Agni is leading the Devatas. Manu is leading the mankind. With what? Yajna. Bruhaspati Uktamadani. Bruhaspati is chanting the Shanti mantras in rejoicing and celebrating. Just if you look at what this is the context of now, what do Devatas do? What do Rakshasas do? Demons do? What is mankind do? And what we are talking about is the Shanti mantra, the culmination Shanti mantra. Ida Devahur Manu Yajnanihi Bruhaspati Uktamadani. What Samsishat Vishvedevaha. What these Vishvedevas are the ones that are responsible for the aspect of the time in the context of the seasons in the whole universe. Samsishat. They are in complete Sham. What is Sham? Hello?
Together.
Sham Chame.
Wellness.
Yes, Samsishat. Shankara. Shambhave. Sham Chame. Sham is Ananda. Samsishat Vishvedeva. Suktavachaha. Su Ukta Vachaha. All of the deities are actually chanting Sukta Vachaha, Veda Suktas. What am I supposed to do? And therefore the prayer is, O dear Mother Earth, forgive me for hurting, if there is one I have done, anything to hurt, as I think loving and sweet thoughts, as I take birth lovingly and sweetly, as I grow to become love and sweetness, as I speak love and love only sweetly, the most loving, sweetest, and elevating words to all of the above in gods, in deities, and all the other beings, as I am attentive and loving, as I am attentive with my love in service to love all and to serve all. As I do that, may all the gods enhance my brilliance and splendor. May the ancestors and predecessors of mine, as well as I live this life of love and service to love all and serve all, rejoice and celebrate for the peace, peace, and peace. Whatever I said in English is what that Shanti mantra is. Prudhivi Mataha, Prudhivi Mataha, Mama Higumsi, Mama Higumsi, Mama Himsi, Madhu Manishye. Now, why would the mother hurt? Why would the mother hurt a son? Who is the only mother that killed her son, you know? Hello? There is one mother that killed her son. Do you know? Very famous. No? Nobody knows? Are you all blissed out or what?
I don't know, is it Satyavati, the Bhishma?
Satyabhama killed Narakasura. Satyabhama is Mother Earth. Narakasura was born to Mother Earth and Mahavishnu as Adivaraha. Why this Mother Earth, Satyabhama, killed her son Narakasura? Go do the research, you will find out. Because this Narakasura guy has confiscated everything that belongs to God and started exploiting the Mother Nature to a point that the Mother Earth said, oh, this guy, I don't care if he is my son. He has to be eliminated because he is exploiting the Mother Earth. Just like there are so many Narakasuras right now on this human earth. And hence the Mother Earth has to take care to protect the rest of the creation. This is the Shanti mantra. Prudhivi matar ma mahimsi. Prudhivi matar ma mahimsi. Because now you're taking a commitment. You're taking a commitment. The commitment is Madhu Manishye. I'm going to think sweet and loving thoughts. Madhu Janishye. Only I will allow sweetness as in love be born within me. Madhu Vakshami. I grow and become loving and sweet. Madhu Vadishyami. I will speak sweet and love. Devebhyaha Vacham Udyasam Shushrushenyam Manushyebhyaha. To gods and deities, I am offering the Yajna as in offering, and to people, I am doing service. Shushrushenyam Manushyebhyaha. Tam Ma Devaha Avantu Shobhayai Pitaraha Anumadantu. This is the last Shanti mantra. And with that, Shanti mantra, I want to make a couple of announcements. If you can please hang on for a couple more minutes. We are, Bhagavan Baba is coming. We don't know what. He is not coming or going, but in the context of what is going to happen on this Easter Sunday is that we are going to have at Sai Seva Sadan a murti of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, and he has come. The murti is coming, like you see here in this altar. Here we have a murti of Shirdi Baba, who actually came when we did the first Atirudra Parayanam in Sanatana Dharma Kendra. What was that, Pavan, 2008?
Yes, Sairam.
And after 2008 now to how many years now? 2021. You can do the math. How many Atirudrams have happened? Atirudra Parayana have happened. Rudram classes have gone, and now this Rudra Jnana Yajna has happened. Now he is truly blessing the occasion with his murti coming to this beautiful altar to be adorned, along with Jyeshtaya cha, Kanishtaya cha, Purvajaya cha, Aparajaya cha, Madhyamaya cha, Apagalbhaya cha, Jaganyaya cha, Buddhiyaya cha. All these things. And then he's saying, we have all completed the beautiful yajna over the last year. He's coming to bless the occasion now. And that is what we will do on Easter Sunday and also on Saturday. What we are briefly about the program on Saturday, there are also brothers and sisters from our Veda Union led by Brother Branimir that have learned Devi Mahatmyam 700 slokas, the Saptashati. So next, not this Saturday, but the Saturday after the Easter, the Saturday before Easter Sunday, April 3rd, we'll have the morning, we'll have just Ekavaram Abhishekam, one round of Abhishekam. After that, they will do Devi Saptashati Parayana. We will all do, and we will listen to them. Beautiful chanting by the Veda Union of Devi Saptashati in the morning, and in the evening at 4:30 we'll do Ekadasa Rudrabhishekam to Panchamukheshwara, which has been happening all through this period. And on Sunday we will have morning 5 o'clock California time. We will start, which is 5:30 for people in India. So, which is a little bit early, I guess, maybe not, but 5:30 in India, we'll start the Omkaram Suprabhatam in the morning, so 5:30 in the evening for them, so 5 o'clock in the morning here. And then we will do the Kakadarti to Bhagwan, after which we will do Ekadash Rudrabhishekam. We'll have a beautiful violin concert offering by Sister Anu Sridharan, and then we will do Rudra Homa and conclude with the Mahamangalarti as the entire offering of the Rudra Jnana Yajna will be the conclusion, will be over the next 2 weeks of offering. So that is the grace and blessing of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. And in looking at all of this, some brother Zelimir has asked if we can put the entire material together as a thing. I think that has already happened. I'm not sure if these Jnana Yajna links included as well, but the Jnana Yajna links are all on the Atirudram, Sai Atirudram YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to it, maybe you can subscribe to it to watch the entire Jnana Yajna and everything. There are more than 400 videos with explanation of Durga Suktam, Sri Suktam, and all the Suktas, Purusha Suktam, multiple iterations. So with that, we'll close. Yes, anybody has any questions or comments before we close? Yes? No?
Anna,
Yeah.
Satyam here, Anna.
Sure.
Today, I connected to the Chidambaram and Chidambara Ragashyam, whatever you are saying, the Akasha Lingam, what you can say, I connect the dots. Sai Rama, thank you.
How did you connect? Yeah, explain.
that is a dance of Shiva, that is Nataraja, and the space, and the Ragashyam is nothing but the space. When they open the Arudra Darsanam in Chidambaram, they will show that only once in a year. So I connected, Anna. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, what he's saying is the dance is the time and actually happening in the space. And we were talking about the space, what the space is. And this dance in this space is that of dance Shiva, dance in our hearts. Sadanchita mudanchita nipunchita padam jhala jhalam jhalita manju katakam patanjali druganjana mananjana machanchala padam janana bhanjana karam kadamba ruchimambara vasampara mamambuda kadamba kavidamba kagalam chidambudhimanim buddha hridambujaravim parachidambara natam hridi bhaja harantripura bhanjana mananta kritakanka Makhandadaya Mantarahitam Virinchi Sura Samhati Purandhara Vichintata Padam Taruna Chandramakutam Parampada Vikhandita Yamam Bhasita Mandita Tanum Madana Vanchana Paramu Chirantanamamum Pranava Sanchita Nidhim Parachidam Baranatam Hridi Bhaja Avantam Akhilan Jagadabhanga Gunatunga Mamatam Dhutavidum Surasarit Tarangani kuramba dhutilam patajatam shamanadam bhasuharam bhavaharam Sivandasha digantara vijrumbhita karam karala sanmruga shishum pashupatim haram sesi dhananjaya patanganayanam parachidambara natam hridi bhaja ananta navaratna virasat kataka kinkini jhalam jhala jhalam jhalaravam mukunda viti hastagata maddalala yadvani dhime Tanapadam Shakuntara Dabarihiradhanandhi Mukha Bhrungiriti Sanganikatam Bhajaharam Sananda Sanaka Pramukha Vandita Padam Parachidam Baranatam Hridi Bhaja Ananta Mahasam Tridasha Vandya Charanam Muni Hrudantara Vasan Tamamalam Kabandhavyadandavani Gandhavaka Vanhimaka Bandhuravi Manjuvapusham Ananta Vibhavam Trijagadantara Madin Trinajanam Tripura Kandana Param Sananda Muni Vandita Padam Sakarunam Parachidam Baranatam Hridi Bhaja Achintya Madi Vrunda Ruchi Bandhura Gadankurita Kundani Puram Badhavalam Mukunda Sura Vrunda Bala Kuntra Kruta Bandanala Santama Kundala Dharam Akampamanukampita Ratim Sujana Mangala Nidham Gajaragham Pashupatim Dhananjayanutam Pranataranjana Param Parachidam Baranatam Hridi Bhaja Param Suravaram Puraharam Pashupatin Janita Danti Mukha Shanmukhamamum Mrudankanaka Pingala Jatam Sanaka Pankajaravan Sumanasam Himaruchim Asanghamanasam Jaladhijanmagaralam Kavalayantamatulam Gunanidhim Sanandavaradam Shamitamiduvadanam Parachidam Baranatam Hridi Bhaja Ajam Kshitiradham Bhujanga Pungava Gunankanaka Sungi Dhanusham Karalasat Kuranga Prudhutanka Parashum Ruchira Kunkumaruchim Damarukam Chadadhatam Mukunda Visikham Namadavanjapaladam Nigama Vrundaturagam Nirupamam सचण्डिकममुं झटति संहृतपुरं परचिदम्बर नटं हृदि भजा अनङ्गपरिपन्थिनमजङ्क्षितिदुरन्धरमदं करुणयन्तमखिलं ज्वलन्तमनलन्दधतमन्तकरिपुं सततमिन्द्रसुरवन्दितपदम् उदञ्चदरविन्दकुलबन्धुशतबिम्बरुचि संहति सुगन्धि वपुषं पतञ्जलिनुतं प्रणव पञ्जरशुकं परचिदम्बरनटं हृदि भजा इति स्तव ममुं भुजगपुङ्गवकृतं प्रतिदिनं पठति यः कृतमुखः सदः प्रभुपदद्वितय दर्शनपदं सुललितं चरणशृङ्गरहितं सरः प्रभव सम्भव हरित्पति हरि प्रमुख दिव्यनुत शङ्करपदं स गच्छति परं न तु जनर्जनिधिं परम दुःखजनकं दुरितदम् ॐ ह्रीं नमः शिवाय ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे नमः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः जय साई राम। Thank you. Sai Ram.